Hello, everybody. This is Sri from BizBuzz, What Matters the Most in Your Business, sponsored by My Workbelt. My Workbelt is a software application that will help service-based small businesses to run their entire operation through that software. So they will avoid chaos in their life. And today we have Steve Morris. Steve Morris began his career as a designing and multi-million dollar racing yachts and leading high-performing teams, winning the world's and toughest yacht races. And Steve founded his own business to help entrepreneurial leaders build better lives by transforming their businesses. Drawing on decades of experience with world class teams, Steve further became a EOS expert, entrepreneurial operating system. This is one of the mechanisms that businesses are using to organize their business process. And it's been quite popular in small business environment. And positive intelligence is also another strong suit for the Steve. And his mission is to help leaders get unstuck, fuel growth, and build cohesive, healthy teams that achieves extraordinary success. And Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks, Sri, and that was a great introduction. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
I am so glad to hear that. And first of all, thank you very much for joining in the show and willing to share your experience and knowledge with the small business community.
Hmm,
Very kind of you. Much appreciated.
great to be
So,
here. Mhm.
Steve, when it comes to the small businesses, one of the fundamentals that I understand that you have to define the values in your business, and you have to make sure those values are propagated through the organization and everybody follow the same values. So, can you explain a little bit more about what is this values means and give us a couple of examples as
Yeah,
to how a small business should put them together?
right. No, no, it's a very important point that you're bringing up. So when I start working with my clients, oftentimes the team has a sort of sense about who they are, and sometimes it can be an unspoken sense, about the way we do things around here. And it can be very difficult at times with these unspoken conditions for new people to come and join the team.
Yes.
And so sometimes when we don't sort of intentionally look at really defining who we are as a team,
Hmm.
this core of what makes up what's important to the team, then we can see a symptom of maybe
Right.
turnover or even wrong people getting sort of hired into the business, or people,
Right.
what I mean by wrong is just people who just don't fit the culture,
Hmm.
right? And it can be a very difficult thing to manage at times,
Right.
because anything that's sort of hidden underneath and unspoken,
Unspoken
yeah, becomes,
practices.
yeah, difficult. So what I do is I work with my clients to define who they are at their core. And so we will come up with usually around sort of 5 words and concepts
Hmm.
that define their values, the things that are important to them, that
Hmm.
describe their team.
Yes.
And we create stories around these as well, because as human beings,
Yeah.
we
Yeah. We
all,
are all well connected with the stories.
yeah. And so sometimes, teams will come up with something like, words like honesty and integrity, hard work, and
Yeah.
I'm like, got it, I understand. Um, but one of the things that I will push clients on is those are that they're wonderful qualities,
Hmm.
but what they really are sort of permission to play qualities. In other
Yeah.
words, we have to have them, right? We're not going to hire people
Correct.
who don't have honesty as one of their core values,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
So what I really need to do is to get the team to just go and level deeper and
Uh-huh.
to really kind of start, okay, beyond honesty, integrity, and hard work, because everybody's got those.
Correct.
what's more unique about you guys as a team, right?
Right.
And that's where we start to find these sort of like this deeper sense of the team. Like maybe it might be goes above and beyond, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a core value of the team that starts creating, and they start creating a story around that that
I see.
means, hey, when it's 5 o'clock on Friday
Yeah.
and we're still getting stuff boxed up and ready to go out, from well, on the UPS shipment or on the FedEx shipment, we don't just stop at 5 p.m. and
Right.
go. We go above and beyond. And and so that starts creating this vision, for the team about what it looks like,
I
to
see.
go above and beyond. And the point about that, to sort of create that sense in the team is, somebody might be like looking at their watch saying, well, it's 5 o'clock on Friday, I'm out of here,
Yeah,
and
that
everybody
that does
else is
happen.
working,
That does
right?
happen. Many of the people they drop the boxes where they are and then they leave. That is uh, sort of unethical, but for them, hey, it is legal. That's what I should do, right?
Yeah. Um, and so, and of course, the people who don't get it, right? Because if it had been an unspoken thing that we go above and beyond and we're just going to work until we've got the shipment out, and then somebody doesn't understand that because no one's ever told them
Correct.
that's who we are as a team, then they're not going to fit, right? And
They're not
and
going to
that
fit.
just sort of creates, as I'm talking about, these sort of unspoken sense. And so that's what I work with my clients is to really kind of pull out from them who they are as their team, get these things written down, and then, as I'm saying, create stories. And then I get the CEO, the leader, the owner of the business. They need to get these values shared by everybody in the business, right? We call it
Understand.
shared by all.
Shared by all. So
Shared by all.
speaking of that, now I also heard a different concept or point of view from many businesses. Right people in the right seats of the bus, right?
Hmm.
What does that mean? It's just when you say right people in the right seats of the bus, well, all the ladies sits in one side of the bus and all the boys sits in one side of the bus, or all the children sits in the front. And it's just it confuses. So what
Yeah.
exactly it means, right
Yeah.
people in the right seats of the bus?
It's a very important concept, and it comes from Jim Collins, who wrote Good to Great. He
Yes,
researched companies that have exceeded the stock market over long periods of time, and he
correct.
looked at what did they do that helped them exceed the stock market. And one of the things he found, as you're talking about, is we need to get the right people on the bus
Yes.
and doing the right things. And so, right people, right seats, you have to have both.
Hmm.
Right people are people who share the core values,
Right.
right? So this is what I love about EOS is I give my clients tools so that when they are interviewing people and hiring people and bringing them onto the team, we're explicitly talking about the core values, and we're trying to get people who are the right people who share those core values, who want to be a
Hmm.
part of a team that exhibits those core values.
I
And
see.
so to the degree that we can do that, we get the right people. And of course, rewarding and recognizing people
Correct.
within the business for exhibiting the core values is how we instill those. And so everybody can kind of see, oh, this is how it's done around here, right? This is what the boss wants.
So now you basically, when you have a right people with the core values that are agreeable and practicing, then now it's kind of like a all ships sailing in the same direction, right?
Absolutely.
Now you have the whole team in one direction, and like even the birds, they fly all as a flock in one direction, and they optimize the flying, and they make their energy efficiency to combat the resistance given by the air and wind, right?
Absolutely.
uh,
Yeah.
that is an impressive concept that you're
Yeah.
describing here.
Mm.
Now, what is the small business need to do in order to identify who is the right person and to be on a specific seat of the bus? Now that we
Yeah.
know the people who are doing the right things, so how do we identify them? Is there any tip or two that you can share with the community?
On the right seats aspect, it's all about so a person who's in a right seat. is
Hmm.
somebody who's got the talent, skills, and experience to be really great at the job that we're asking them to do. And we
I
have
see.
this filter, it's
Hmm.
a tool, I call it GWC, which
Hmm.
stands for gets it, wants it, and has the capacity to do it.
Ah,
And so gets it means that when you're explaining the job to somebody, you
they
can
get
kind of
it.
see their eyes lighting up. You can see the neurons in their brain connecting that they understand, fundamentally understand what the job requires.
I see.
Wants it means they roll out of bed in the morning wanting to come do the work, right? And then as I'm talking about capacity is, do I have the talent? Do I have the skills? Do I have the training? And do I have the
Mhm.
time to be really great at doing the job that we want? And so part of what we do when I work with my clients is I work on something called the accountability chart, where
Hmm.
we figure out all of the right structure, like all of the functional areas of the business that we need to execute the business. So, like marketing and sales, operations, finance,
Right.
those functional areas. Within each functional area, I get my clients to write out the top 5 roles and responsibilities.
I see.
And so from, like if I take the marketing example, marketing, would be accountable for,
Hmm.
developing strategy,
Yeah.
executing strategy,
Right.
bringing in warm leads,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And then we put somebody into that seat of being accountable for marketing.
Mm.
Do they get and
Right.
want and have the capacity to develop the marketing strategy?
I see.
Right? Do they get, do they want, do they have the capacity to execute the strategy? Do they fundamentally get, that marketing's all about bringing in leads, right? So
Mm.
we use this as a filter and be able to go down and figure out somebody who's a right seat gets it, wants it, and has the capacity to do all of the things that we're asking them to do.
Right. What a great concept you are sharing with us today. Thank you very much. I am really enjoying that learning.
Hmm.
So, GWC, who gets it, who wants it, and who have capacity to do it.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, that is very simple, but we really don't pay attention to that way. Now, once you
Mm.
create that clarity, it makes it easy. Aha, okay, now that's the right guy or that's the right girl to do this job.
Yeah.
And you can really reorganize yours, however small, however big, you can reorganize the team to be more efficient and effective.
Yeah.
So if I summarize it, then what you are suggesting that the core values are very, very important for any organization to speak the same language, especially those who newly come into the organization, they will understand and they know what needs to be done. And that can be defined, and it is not simply picking up a integrity and acceptancy or any word, fancy words, but go dive into it and create a story behind it.
Yeah.
Now everybody follows that. And not only create it, but make sure they are all propagated throughout the organization. And
Yes.
everybody have to follow that. It has to ingrain into their subconscious. And now GWC is the very, very important concept and very simple to apply it if you can understand that. Who gets it? And that person who wants to do it and that person who has capacity to do it. In any of these 3 parameters doesn't fit, and that person is not the right person on that seat.
Yeah.
Steve, greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and expertise with our small business community here. And your time is greatly appreciated here.
You're very welcome. It's been a great discussion. Thank you very much, Sri.
Excellent.